G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talks Stuff Ukraine War Update for the 3rd of May 2026. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate. I'll continue to bring you my unique perspective on the Ukraine War as the war continues. Without fear or favour, I am not funded by anybody but you, the viewing public. So let's begin. Alright, so Kiev, Poltavia. Oh wait, Ravine was marked as hit before. That's interesting. Okay, that's gone. Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kharkiv. Kharkiv's always hit. Oh, Kharkiv, Kherson, I meant, sorry. Poltavia is rarely hit, but Ukraine doesn't only ship everything to the through Dnipro, from Mykolaiv to Kharkiv, Kyiv to Zaporozhye. 1, 2, 3, 4 distribution centers are throughout here. But Ravini was hit. It was actually not just on the Russian news. It was actually on the Ukrainian news as well. I don't know why it's not marked. So as we go around the map, Russians have claimed to have liberated a settlement up here in Sumy. It's not marked. They're continuing fighting across multiple fronts. It's gone quiet in Kupiansk, but they had advanced here earlier. The marker's gone away. Alright, so Lyman front rather busy with no activity. Rather busy with no advance, sorry. No advance here, no advances here. A little bit of advancing here. A lot of activity. Russia's forming its cauldron. Doing so here again. They're consolidating their positions along this front. They've had some advances here, pushing the Ukrainians back again across the river. But they have not been able to seize Preshnikovia or cut it off either. The Ukrainians are, however, finding it more and more difficult to come down the river or even cross overland as the Russians have advanced. They haven't quite taken Bershtok, but it may fall soon. They've advanced on Ivaninkia. They're on the outskirts. They're consolidating their positions here, attacking Benishki. They've made small inroads into Sherdvigovia. They've all but taken this section, like I said they would, and start going up. They're going to do the same here and start going up. And they're 1, 2, Dopronelia, and then cut off. And that forces all the Ukrainians basically up to here. This is what they planned. Push up here. Push up here. 3-pronged attack. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's like they've gridded Ukraine, crossed all the vertices. Vertices, I think that's correct. And they basically move along these vertices on a big, where they say, right, we hit here, 142, 138, just keep spinning them out and attacking the Ukrainian positions wherever they try to amass an army as well as attacking supply lines. Now, they've only made moderate success in other areas, but yeah, they are still in Zhaknin, despite what Ukrainian propaganda say, they are not pushing back the Russians. They're not marching to Moscow. There's no Ukrainian victory in sight. That's just my humble opinion. I am not optimistic, however, or pessimistic. I do think that there's always the opportunity for Russia to drop the ball, to fumble their supply lines, to overestimate their positions, to advance too fast and get their supplies cut off, or suddenly Ukraine gets that 2 million army that it keeps claiming it has. Yeah. All of this brought to you by you. I'm asking you to help fund me, so I just please don't have to chase sponsors to help build the channel. It's going to take advertising. It's going to take time and effort to equip the new computers, new headphones, new microphones. Don't come cheap. New cameras. The internet isn't cheap. For a high bandwidth upload, it isn't cheap. So, asking for your support. One way you could get yourself something in return as well. A coffee mug from the Empire of Elves. Now, last month the Russians increased their order of equipment by 10,000 units. They were not specific, but mostly that was new drones, interceptor drones. Those have been successful against Ukrainian drones. Ask where the Flamingo is. The Ukrainians are wondering what happened to the Flamingo wonder weapon. It isn't a wonder weapon, is it? It isn't winning the war. They can't even launch one every day. And most get shot down when they do. But Russia has realised that there's no one wonder weapon, and often logistics is what keeps an army going. Now what they're doing, as you can see here, is container trucks or not container trucks, sorry, lorries, I forget what the American, are delivering not to depots in Donetsk, but further back, and they're using drones to deliver the front line because, well, trucks are easier targets than drones, and lots of drones get through. Even if one drone gets hit, at least one will get through, right? There's, and still, they're losing. If Russia loses less equipment, that means the Ukrainians are less effective at slowing them down. Now, the Russians put out the videos often, and they are to show you that they are capable, but I think it's important you to know that why Ukraine isn't doing so well. And that's because Russia is actually able to develop its own drones, its own technologies independently, and they are also producing effective combat drones, which they are, as you can see, testing. You would not want to have these sneak up on your front line, sneak through your front line and strike your supply lines from behind to take out your bunkers, to take out your supply trucks, to take out your vehicles. But that's exactly what Russia is doing with a versatile drone and lots of them. Israel is not the only country now who can send drones sneaking into enemy territory. Yeah, Israel's been doing this for over 20 years, by the way. And Russia's mounted what appears to be, what do you say, discount version of the Hacksaw. But I haven't seen the Hacksaw in action, although it's an American drone. And it's got a mini tank and lots of them. The Uran 9, this is the 9th version. I've reported on its little brothers before. We've never seen combat footage of any of these drones, so cannot say how effective they are. And some of them do look a little bloated to be effective in that they'd be too heavy or too big a target, too easy to spot coming. But what happens when there's thousands of them, which was the point of testing how Ukraine responds to drones? And yes, they are carrying out what they call drone assassinations as well. Russia's doing this. These are this is compilated footage, which is why I can bring it to you. But some of these also are from the drone manufacturers themselves. So take it with a grain of salt that the Kruger, Varan, and Impulse are effective because Russia is trying to sell them, so they're not going to tell you the negative effects of drone armies and the cost and time of training and the logistics and the limitations, or give you away any specs other than, look, we're winning in Ukraine. But truth is, even though they are winning in Ukraine, the Chinese drone industry and the Chinese setbacks have dented the Russians, because the Chinese have been able to undercut them in many markets. And now, of course, those that simply by association with China, the Russian arms industry is in disarray because of the losses in Syria, the recent setbacks in Mali. Although the Mali government was successful in the end, they lost a lot of equipment to American. A lot of people think, and I think too, that the reports are that Ukraine sold American arms to the Mali opposition. They deny it. Same with arms in Sudan, with the breakaway republic there. But who knows? No one's going to talk about the truth. But the truth is, if Russia's going to put 25,000 more machines on the front line, consider how that's this month. That's 25,000 more drones. That means we're going to see more drone attacks. That means the drone attacks are going to be over 200 per day for the next month. So, anyone still think it's all Russian disinformation? So, there you go. That's why I look at both sides, folks. Right? Find out what's going on. Because Ukraine ain't going to tell you the truth. Now, a lot of them are going to be airborne. And, see, look, they even admit that only... Now, they're recording hits at 15 locations. Don't tell you where. So, support what? 51 drones shot down by Russia. They actually show you, we've seen this before, Russia's improved its 23mm autocannon. They've now produced a various new airburst ammunition for it, programmable distance. They measure the distance more accurately, program the more accurate timers in the fuses. And they have a higher rate of sustainable fire. As you see, reinforced barrels. They've improved the optics, the optical guidance. They've included the technologies for leading your target so that they can track the target, enable you to position the gun ahead of the target, knowing that you're not going to just spray and pray as you're turning either. You actually pull past and lead up to the target with firing, and it's all getting more and more automated. There are even some autocannons now for ships. But air defense assets have been effective in Russia, and there's only been a few recorded hits. Now, this is why Russia fights, was the ethnic cleansing in Ukraine in 2014. That started in 2014 with Western-backed coup. That's Barack Obama's legacy, the destruction of Ukraine. billions of dollars spent to buy a country's loyalty with foreign aid and then fund radical fanatics to take over that country and engage in ethnic cleansing because they want to destroy the Russian economy because they're starting to erode European markets with cheaper cars. And yeah, it's terrible. I mean, you had an opportunity in 96 when Russia and China were enemies to literally have all of the USSR all the way through in Europe. And Europe didn't want that because then we have to break up Russia and take it over because they're too big. They would dominate Europe. Yeah, that's the problem, is they care more about power than they do people. I'm not saying Russia's innocent in all this. I'm just saying what has provoked them. And the Russians will ignore us and will continue their war, whether you like it or not. And they have taken another town, whether you like it or not. And Ukraine, this map, by the way, comes from a pair of Ukrainians in the US. Live Ukraine map, not live Russian map. Okay, all the information here comes from Ukrainian sources as well as third parties in Poland and other countries, not all of whom are listed. They even have their own website on, their own social media. Yeah. The fact is, right, the Russians, they're going to take the Donetsk. They have said this. They're going to take Koshakovia. They haven't said much about the rest, but we pretty much know that they're going to take about half of Zaporozhye. They're going to keep the 2/3 of Kherson they've taken. There's about a third of Kherson. A third of Kherson is going to be left behind, I think, in this latest peace offer. In the next peace offer, they're going to say, well, it's about a third of Zaporozhye. No, everything, they're going to take half of it, and then you notice they're not attacking the top half or top 10%. So they're going to take about 70% of that state. You notice most of Donetsk they're not attacking, have ever attacked. So they're going to take about 2/3 to 70% of that state as well. It's the parts they haven't attacked, I think, are the parts they're going to leave out. Okay? That's the parts they don't want. I think they're leaving those people in peace and, making it clear that it's the nationalists in the cities who are their target. And that's the state of the war. So, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you have anything I missed out. But if you're going to just tell me I'm a Nazi or Ukrainian or Russian, that's on. See, you can believe it, but I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to entertain you. If you clearly made up your mind without knowing me. And you don't know anything about this war if you think that Russia's losing. So thank you for watching anyway. I really appreciate the views, even if you're sitting there seething. So while you're at it, you really want to cope and seethe? Fund me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. I really appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.